Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Are the mics on? Can you hear me? Welcome to our production this afternoon by Southeastern Productions out of Columbia, South Carolina. We are privileged this afternoon to have the presentation of Amelia. Our star, Dorothy Martin, has been associated with Southeastern for 5 years as a performer, as an administrator, and an instructor heading up summer drama camp. She is a graduate of Columbia College with a degree in theater. Her credits include Nancy in Oliver Twist, Jeanette in The Last of the Red Hot Lovers, and Aunt Pennyman in The Heiress. So without further ado, let the show begin. Amelia.
Fuel running low. Please get bearings. Do you copy? 3 hours since their last transmission. Such a big ocean. So much water. 3 hours and fuel almost gone. Almost gone. Think, Amelia, think. Switching to lower frequency 6040, running north and south. Do you copy? Is there anyone out there listening? Anyone at all? This is Earhart to cover Itasca, or anyone in the immediate vicinity will be forced to crash land in approximately 5 minutes. Have been circling for the past 4 hours and am off course. Would appreciate you looking for me. Earhart out. Earhart out. Yes, Earhart out. Endless waves, nowhere to land. I wouldn't survive for more than half an hour down there. I don't want to descend. I don't want to go down. I belong up here. Ooh, it's hot up here. Don't take me down there, Electra. I want to stay up here with the clouds. With you. With you, I am free. GP said you were bad luck. Named after a lost star, but what does he know? I am nothing without my wings. Fuel is gone. We're going down. Ooh-wee, we're going down. I gotta go eat dinner. My granny's calling. Millie, you get in here. You'll be asking for a cold meal and a warm paddle. You hear that? See you tomorrow. I'm inside, Grandma. I'm dusting my feet. Hey, where's my little sis? Oh, Pigeon. Oh, Piglet. I mean Pidge. Pidge, I wore my bloomers today. Granny was right. Everybody stared. But I'm glad Mama got them for us, though, because you sure can't do much in a dress for long. You can't run in one. You can't climb a tree in one. You can't play football in one. You can't really walk in one, or if you do, you can't fall down or someone will see your underwear. Well, you can cook, clean, and sew in one. But who wants to do any of that? Certainly not me. Pidge, come here. I need your help. I've got a secret project. You know that horse that Mr. Oldham keeps shut up in that rickety old shed? I found out her name. It's Nellie. And when the shed wiggles like that, Nellie's trying to get out of it. She's trying to escape. He beats her and he whips her, Pidge. She's suffocating in that old wooden box. We've got to free her. Well, I know it's not any of our property, but does that make it any less our business? Well, you go ahead and tell on me. I don't care. But you won't be able to sleep tonight knowing that Nellie's being beaten. Do unto others as others would do unto you. Pidge, come back. What was that? Look. Nellie's broken down the gate and escaped. Nellie's running away. Nellie's just a fence. Go, Nellie, go. Run as fast as you can. Run until your legs break. Woo-wee. Nellie's heading towards the river. Uh-oh. There's a bunch of men. They're chasing after her. They're grabbing her reins, trying to scare her. Pidge, you get down. Don't you look. No, Nellie, you don't have to jump. Do you, Nellie? No, the bridge is too far. Just stay there. At least you'll live. No, Nellie, no. She's hit the river rocks. She's dead. Yes, Mama, we saw it all. No, I won't take anything over to Mr. Oldham, even if he is our neighbor. I bet Pidge won't take anything over to him either, will you, Pidge? See, we won't take cake or anything over to that old horrid man, even if he did break his leg. I'm glad he got hurt. You can spank me if you want to, but I won't do it. we don't have many friends or neighbors. We're always moving around so much because you keep changing jobs. You've had more jobs than anyone else's daddy I know. People at school are always asking me what my daddy does. It used to be so easy to say, my daddy's a lawyer with such and such a firm. Or, my daddy's a lawyer with the railroad. Or even just, my daddy's a lawyer. But you're not even a lawyer anymore. Daddy, that book could have hit me. I'm not playing around. I'm asking a serious question. What's a martyr? Mother told me to ask you because you know the answer better than anyone else in the family. And I just want to know for my own good about a word. Oh, forget it, Dad. I found it in a book, okay? Give me that liquor bottle. If you throw anything else at me, you'll ruin my school dress, and everyone in town will know that we're not right. Well, we're not wrong, but we're not right. We're not the way we used to be before you started moving us to Illinois and Minnesota and Missouri. We liked living in Kansas, you know. Daddy, don't let Pidge see you this way. I understand these things because I'm 12. I'm older. But Pidge, she's just a kid. She's only 10. And I don't want to ruin her opinion of you while she's so young. Daddy, do you remember when we used to do fun things together? It was while you were working. You were so happy. Like the time you bought me my first rifle, or my first football, or all the fishing trips we used to go on. Or how about the time I told you that I didn't like dolls, and you said you were glad, and you took me to the air circus. You said that you were glad to have a daughter who liked to do adventurous things. Daddy, when are we going to do some more of those things? All you do now is drink and argue with Mother. I just want us to be happy. Pidge and I don't care if there isn't any money. Mother, she'll just have to get used to it. Martyr must have been a pretty bad word to have made you so angry. If someone would help me spell it, I'd look it up in the dictionary at school. Dad, 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 don't leave, Dad. Mother, I don't think I'm ugly. But boys at school, they don't think I'm pretty either. Or if they do, they're too afraid to ask Dad for a date because things aren't right with him. So they call me the girl in brown who walks alone. I picked this high school because it was the only one that had a chemistry lab that was not a kitchen sink. But all the other courses are awful. Mother, are you listening to me? I'm serious. Miss Dingy, my English teacher, this is how she conducts class. Well, I know it's not nice to imitate, but it's the truth. Every morning, she says, "Class, this is an English class. We read books here. No talking, just reading. Now, if you have any questions, ask your parents. Continue reading Nicholas Nickleby. You will be giving a test next Friday covering the events that occur in all 900 pages of it." Miss Dingy! Miss Dingy! I don't think that her deafness is any laughing matter. And we shouldn't spend the whole period making fun of her. I mean, it's not her fault that she's deaf and the mayor's sister. But she shouldn't be allowed to teach English by reading a book at her desk. Now, I have a petition here to take to the principal's office. We should all sign it and see if we can get someone in here who can teach us something. An excellent solution. In fact, the only solution if we want to learn anything about English literature. We are seniors, and you know what they say about college courses. Difficult. I want to be prepared. I plan to go barring any unforeseen circumstances. Now, for those of you who agree with me, please raise your hands. I said, for those of you who agree with me, please raise your hands. I see. No one here agrees with me. Mother, I wonder if I'll be popular in college. I plan to go barring any unforeseen circumstances. By the time I had looked up the word martyr in the dictionary, I learned that it had strong religious connotations, of course, but that it also meant one who makes a great sacrifice for the sake of principle. And even though my mother was calling my father a martyr, and my father was calling my mother a martyr, and all the kids at school were shouting it at me because I wouldn't eat lunch with them after they had made fun of my whole family, in spite of all that, it had character, I thought, which was what I needed to survive a world war. It's 1917, and the time is ripe for a good, solid martyr. Pidge was in Toronto studying to be a teacher. I went to visit her on my Christmas vacation. She was at St. Margaret's, a very good school. I couldn't help but notice the wounded soldiers in need after fighting in France. I saw these men, some of them dying, some of them without arms or legs, without heart and humor. And I knew that I could not go back to school. I had to stay and help them. So I took a short first aid course, and I enrolled in the voluntary aid detachment. And I now work for the military hospital. Because I know chemistry, I was allowed to work in the diet kitchen, where my innovations of serving tomatoes and gruel were greeted by cheers from the soldiers. Ah, the soldiers. I met some fascinating soldiers. Like the captain of the Royal Flying Corps, he invited me over to watch his air circuit. It was my first real eye-to-eye exposure to aviation as an adult. Well, that's something I could talk about all day. But I could see what they see. Beyond the everyday chores and problems that occupy so much of our time, there are great ideals to strive for. I'd sit in my room and I'd think about the stars, the sky, what is up there? And then to really see it. All of the pilots had been shot down and wounded, had lost their arms flying, had lost their youth flying. Yet all they could talk about was flying, because it was worth it, the price to pay to see the world from above. As I sat there watching those men soar into the sky, going to end up deader than a doornail. And so I might as well enjoy life. And as long as I had my dreams, I could do anything. And maybe I too could fly. I said, maybe I could fly. Hello, Mother. Yes, I'm going to be moving to Los Angeles. I'm going to be taking flying lessons. A job, whatever I can get. Can you hold a minute, please? I've got to catch another line. Los Angeles operator number 2, can I help you, please? Please hold and I'll connect you. Los Angeles operator number 2, can I help you, please? Please hold and I'll connect you. Anyway, Mother, I'm going to be taking flying lessons from Netta Snook on Tuesday and Thursday and all through the weekend. Can you hold a minute, please? Los Angeles operator number 2, can I help you, please? Sam? Hi! Tickets to the air circus. Oh, you really know your way to my heart. Can you hold a minute, please? Los Angeles operator number 2, can I help you, please? Please hold and I'll connect you. Sam, pick me up 2 o'clock. Netta's plane. Bye. Nothing can stop me from pursuing those elusive gems in the sky called stars, or those mashed potatoes called clouds. Not even Sam. Sam is my first real boyfriend. Oh, I've had some dates, finally, but Sam is the only one who keeps hanging around. Pidge, could you help me get into this dress, please? Sam is so wonderful. He loves everything that I love. Books, plays, politics. He just makes them so much fun. Maybe it's the way he looks. He is so cute. I love his hair. I love his eyes. I love his elbows, chestnut brown. Hair, that is. Pidge, do you think he loves me? Oh, I hope so. I never knew that boyfriends could be so much fun. They have such mischievous little grins. Today is my first solo flight. It is the biggest moment of my life. 1921. Netta, have an ambulance or something waiting nearby, just in case, all right? So long. They say pilots are crazy for being up here. They are wrong. They are geniuses, scientists, daredevils, explorers, romantics. I am a pilot. I am a pilot. I could die right now and it would all have been worth it. But I must pay attention. I'm not exactly a barnstormer yet. But I take flying lessons from Netta Snook. Snooky, we call her. The first licensed woman pilot in Canada. She dresses like a man, talks like a man, can do anything a man can do. To a plane, at least. Hey, there she is now. Hey, Snooky! Kansas, I'm on top of the world. You can't see me yet, but one day I'm going to land this plane in Mr. Oldham's front yard. This is the beginning of a long and beautiful relationship between you and me, Lockheed. Descend, plane. Descend. Amelia. Well, you and Albert must be ecstatic. I'm happy for you. No, really I am. Pidge, I took a job teaching in Boston. That way we can live near each other. You, me, and Mother. Since Dad is remarrying, we've got to stick together. Albert, too? Of course. Of course, Albert, too. After that, I sold my plane. I felt that it was time to put things in their proper perspective. My mother wanted us to move to Boston together, and there was no way for us to get there. So I sold my plane for a yellow roadster. I even gave up flying for a while. I mean, where was it leading me, really, I asked myself. I was nearly a misfit. I even took a job teaching at a social work center called Denison House. I was allowed to teach English to foreigners. My supervisor was very liberal, and he let me use any teaching method I wanted. So I directed field trips. I led plays. I taught those immigrants American culture. That got to be a challenge sometimes. especially if it was a warm day or there was something exciting happening in the street. One day, the commotion was so loud, I could not go on with class. Monsieur Paulet, would you mind telling me what all the ruckus is? Ruckus, Mrs. Hot? What is this word, ruckus? Monsieur Paulet, would you mind telling me why everyone is screaming in the street? Mrs. Hot, do you not know of this Lindbergh, the first man to fly to Paris alone? Did I not know of Lindbergh, the most famous man in the world and a pilot to boot? I started screaming with the mob. Lindbergh! Lindbergh! Hooray for Lindy! Lucky Lindy! Lucky Lindy! Lindbergh! Lindbergh! Rah, rah, rah! Well, come on, class. Keep cheering. He's practically a demigod. He's everything you'd ever want to know about being an American. Lindbergh! Miss Perkins, excuse me. I was just cheering Colonel Lindbergh on with the class, and a phone call for me? No, I've never heard of a Captain Rayleigh. He's on the phone now? How amazingly odd. If you'll excuse me, class, I must accept an urgent phone call. Hello, Amelia Earhart here. Yes, the same. No, I fly only on the weekends now, but I'm still very interested in it. Should I be willing to be the first woman across the Atlantic by plane? Would I be willing to be the first woman across the Atlantic by plane? Yes, of course, I'll do anything. Thank you, bye. Well, how can I refuse such an offer? I mean, here I was, 27 years old, single, childless, and they ask me if I want to be the first woman to cross the Atlantic by plane? 4 other women have already died trying to do so. But I was willing to give it a shot if I could get back into it, make a name for myself. I could do this the rest of my life. Because if you want to know the truth, I have never been as happy as when I've been in the air. Only 12 other people have crossed the ocean, all of them men. It's a chance of a lifetime. So they interview me for the job. Now, I don't want them to like me too much, or they wouldn't want me to fly abroad because they wouldn't want me to die. On the other hand, if they don't like me at all, they wouldn't want me to live through it. So I try to appear mediocre, and apparently I am a mundane success because they choose me to be captain of the mission, which in this case means I get to keep the ship's log. The pilot and the mechanic who are hired to fly the plane with me as their cargo are paid. I am not. But I am the captain, and I get to write down every little movement that we make. June 3rd, 1928. The crew of the Friendship flight, for that is the name given this mission, is cozy and warm, high above the Atlantic. We have taken off on the first leg of our journey. We're en route to Trepassey, Newfoundland, to await the weather clear signal from our expert meteorologist, Doc Kimball. And then We're off to fly the Atlantic. June 8th, still here. Weather worse, still hopeful for takeoff. June 9th, still around. June 10th, still here, getting grouchy. June 11th, still here. June 12th, still here. June 13th, still here. June 14th, still here. June 15th, I can't stand it anymore. I have played endless games of gin rummy with Slim the mechanic, and Bill the pilot. He's drunker than a skunk. He has been for 10 days now. Sounds familiar? My life depending on a drunk man. Anyway, we're calling it quits. The friendship flight is finished. We'll be the laughing stock of the nation. So much for great adventure. Hello? Yeah. Go ahead, tell me the bad news. We're not going to be taking off today. Bet you didn't know I was so clairvoyant, did you? That's all right. I don't mind going back to teaching. At least it was stable, rain or shine. I'm sorry? What? What did you say? Take off now? But well, okay. See you in the funny papers. Bye. Slim! Slim, we got the clear. We got the clear. Yes, I know that he's drunk. What do you think we should do about it? Yes, I know that I am captain of this mission, but I don't have experience with long-distance conditions. What did you say, Bill? Don't refer to me as cargo. It is not my fault that the weather has been awful. I have just as much courage, guts, as you. I want to fly the Atlantic or die trying to do so. And give me that liquor bottle. Slim, take him to the showers. We've got to douse him with cold water, and I'll make the biggest pot of coffee that we can take with us. And I want to fly for the fun of it. Go ahead and laugh, but you know what I mean. So we take off, and I watch Bill stay awake the 20 hours and 40 minutes that it takes us to get across that ocean. And I realize that I am with a real flying ace, a real talent. And here I was, just a sack of potatoes, along to set some world passive record. Well, we made it. I am Amelia Earhart, the first person, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. Yes, all right, yes, it bothers me that someone else flew the plane when I had wanted to be flying. And yes, it bothers me that the newspapers proclaim Amelia lives. When Bill, he did all the work, he deserves all the credit. And it tears me up that they refer to me as Lady Lindy, because Lindbergh actually did something with his own 2 hands. He was the first person to fly across the ocean. I was the first woman, but a passenger. And my name, Earhart. And yes, it tears me up when they refer to my courage, because my courage has not even been tested. This one flight made me a household name. I was to be immortalized into history books, along with Apple Pie, Uncle Sam, and never telling a lie. And I did not like it at all. I vowed that I would make the flight again. I would learn to fly by instrument. and I would fly it again by myself. Not for the publicity, but because I wanted to. For the fun of it. It was a cold Boston morning in 1932 when I take off for Newfoundland. As I climb into the cockpit, I realize that I'll either see Europe again or I'll die trying. All I take with me is my toothbrush and a thermos of hot chocolate. I don't need much. I just want it to be me and the plane. My plane, the Lockheed Vega. Scared? Don't ask a pilot a silly question as that. If people worry too much, they miss the best things in life. Hamlet would have been a bad aviator. I'm flying along joyously when suddenly I see a fire on the wing. I can't believe it. I don't know what to do. I mean, I can't just walk out there and put it out. And if I lose a wing, well, I just lose my life. Suddenly, it starts to sleep. But the sleep, it's putting the fire out. But now ice, that's another problem. I can't see a thing. The windshield is frozen solid. I imagine endless blue waves below me, like blue tombstones with my name engraved on each one of the white caps. But I can't stop. I must go on, flying by instruments alone. And fatigue comes on me like the plague. Just one quick cat nap. Just one quick cat nap and I'll be dead. The ice is melting. I think I see something brown over there. It's land! It's land! I've made it somewhere! Yes! Hello, Ireland! And this time, when the newspapers proclaim Amelia lives, I want to shout it with them. Amelia lives! Amelia Earhart, the first woman to cross the Atlantic by plane. But of course, that would have been extremely immodest. I mean, it really wasn't a big thing, really. I mean, countless women have done it since, which is what I had hoped for. Women ought to do the things that men do. And if they fail, their failure should be a challenge to others. I always carry a copy of this in the cockpit with me. It's good luck. It's 1933. And Bendix announces its Transcontinental Air Derby. So I enter. $2,500 is to be given to the best woman pilot. And so far, only 2 of us have entered. Each of the 4 men get $2,250 automatically. And another $1,000 for the one who wins and sets a new westward record. It's not exactly fair. But then if women never enter, we'll never have claim to more money. So Ruth Nichols and I, we start up our engines to represent the fairer sex. Even though neither one of us thinks there's anything fair about it. Hey, look, there's Ruthie trying to beat me. Rev it up, Ruthie. Come on, Vega. This contest is used to help promote aviation and get the public interested in this newfangled vehicle. And in a practical sense, can show how fast we can travel. Aside from that, besides Ruthie and me, I think the other pilots are up here only for the money. When I am up here, I am free to think. People are always asking me about my husband. Doesn't he mind you flying around? No, I say. He wants me to do the things that I want to do. Come on, Vega, my red wings. Actually, GP wants me to fly around because he's making a living promoting someone who flies around. He's even got a movie deal going on with Paramount to film the first aviation story on celluloid, calling it Wings. He got it because of me. If I was just some pretty young thing hanging on his arm at a party, well, as pilots say, I'd be dead weight. Dead weight. It's just as well. I like it up here. I know my way around. GP, he'll be waiting for me at the finish line. It'd be nice if he'd have champagne. But more than likely, there'll be 15 reporters. We're coming in. Oh my goodness. There must be at least 30,000 people down there at the finish line. Where am I supposed to land? Not another cornfield landing. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it gives me a great honor to come in third and to win the women's division and to break my own world record at that. Has anyone seen my husband? Oh, well, I'll just wait for Ruth Nichols. She'll be along any minute. Maybe I can get a ride from her. Thanks anyway. So I break a few more records. I set a few more records. I mean, I'm the first woman to fly from Hawaii to California. The first woman, the first person to fly across the Pacific. The first person to fly across the Pacific and the Atlantic. The first person to fly from Los Angeles to Mexico City and from Mexico City to Newark. Wiley Post dared me to do those. Wiley. Good old Wiley. Then it started to hit me. When Will Rogers and Wiley died in that crash, pilots started dropping away somehow. Bill Stoltz died. And then I started to imagine my own death. There's one sure way to clear a room full of pilots, and that's to mention the word death. In 1936, I decided to make my farewell to aviation. I just wanted to set one more world record, one more big adventure, and then I would be content to grow old. So I started talking about it with GP last year. GP, Lindbergh is flying South America, Africa, Europe. Government surveyors are flying from California to Switzerland. I want to do something more daring than any of those projects. I want to fly around the world. I'll fly the world at the equator belt. No, there's no profit in it. I want to do it for me. For the fun of it. Just one more adventure. Daredevils. rebels, romantics. I could die right now, and it would all have been worth it. This is Earhart to Cutter Itasca. Fuel is gone. Please give bearings. I have a confession to make. I am Icarus. I am rising for the sun. I am flying with waxed wings, headed straight for that yellow beam of light burning on my brain. But soon my wings will melt and I'll fall down, down into the blue abyss of the ocean. Don't give up on me. Not yet. There's something that you wanted me to say.
There's something I wanted you to say.
Yes. Before I...
Isn't she marvelous?
Yeah.
Super production. Do you remember all those lines?
Oh, well.
I would like for you to tell us a little bit about Southeastern Productions, where you're located, and a little bit about the history of it.
My name, of course, is Dorothy Martin, as she's already told you. I am representing Southeastern Theatrical Productions. Southeastern Theatrical Productions is a touring theater company based in Columbia, South Carolina. We produce and edit shows exclusively for retirement-age audiences. We travel from Miami to Boston, Massachusetts, and as far west as Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas and all those other rectangular little states out there. We boast a clientele of about 350 or 400 retirement centers, somewhere around there. We usually do a musical review. It is called The Best of Broadway. It is a 3-person show done in black tuxedo, formal gowns. It is usually a collaboration of show tunes from some of Broadway's biggest hits like South Pacific, My Fair Lady, Oklahoma, and lots of others, you know. And then every third time we try to bring in a non-musical like this show. We did a few years ago Bully, which was based on the life of Theodore Roosevelt. And so that was so successful that we decided that we would try it again, and we direct it more towards the women in the audience, you know, Amelia Earhart. So I hope you really enjoyed the show. I'm going to be standing by the door over there, and I'd like to meet and talk with each and every one of you. If you didn't like the show, if you'd slip around that way.
And it also helps. Dorothy is married to the production. What is he?
Yes.
The owner of the...
Yes, my husband actually owns the theatrical productions. His name is Buren Martin, so he's my boss. So I do what he says.
You do it very well.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming to John Knox Poetry.
Thank you so much.
Hello. How are you? Do the Broadway show.
Thank you so much.
One bag over in the gift shop now that we made, and it's one of pockets separate. Yeah, that's not the ones with the pockets are folded up in the end, but where the pockets are made separate. So you might just want to take a look at it, yeah.
Marvelous memory.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are marvelous. How are you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will.